Good morning, or whatever time it is that you happen to catch this. I'm switching gears today because there's a possibility that a trauma or an emotional event has been sabotaging you for a while. The reason that this has come up recently for me is because somebody asked me, can trauma cause me to gain weight? And the answer is totally, absolutely. It can also cause you to lose weight in a not healthy way. But either way, we want to deal with that. If you've been traumatized, even small traumas can cause a problem in our bodies. Scientifically, and I'm not going to get too nerdy on you right now, but scientifically, we have two branches of the autonomic nervous system. We have the sympathetic branch and the parasympathetic branch. The sympathetic is the fight or flight, the ready to like go at it. And when that is on, the body uses its resources to get into the muscles to increase your ability to see. It sets you up for being able to survive. You know, if you need to run, or if you need to fight, or if you need to do something urgently. The problem is, a lot of times when we've been traumatized, that branch of the nervous system gets stuck on. And when that happens, the parasympathetic dominance, I hope this isn't too confusing, the rest and digest and repair part of the nervous system doesn't have a chance to do its job. We have a nerve that runs down. It's a giant nerve. It's an important nerve that fuels or turns on our digestion. It calms our heart rate. It relaxes our smooth muscle tissue. It helps our bowels move. Everything goes into a state of balance when we are in that dominance, when we are in parasympathetic or the rest and digest dominance. So something could trigger you, like for example, I've had a series of car accidents, and until I can turn that fight or flight off, it gets stuck on. It can get stuck on. It doesn't always, but it has for me. And until I can get that to turn off, nothing works right. The body doesn't go back to a normal, calm state, a state of health. It stays on, and you become adrenalized and depleted, and the body goes into survival or suck up mode, and you can gain weight. Or, like I said, you can lose weight. Just recently, I had a pretty strong example of a gal that was emaciated. She was passing out. Her heart rate was dropping. She was drained, and she had been dealing with this stuff for years. And what was happening is some harrowing memories from her childhood was bubbling to the surface, and she was literally just beside herself. She couldn't function in a normal manner. And so we had to do some intervention that was a little more than I normally do. She actually came and stayed with me so that we could get her nervous system to turn off. It took a couple of days to get that to happen. Often it only takes a few minutes, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45 minutes, like that, depending. You know, everyone's a little bit different. I just worked with another gal that was traumatized. The details don't matter, but she was in a state where her nutrition, her digestive system was pretty much turned off for about 8 years, and she was having difficulty with all of the processes of that. And we worked together for about 45 minutes, and that evening, about 7 p.m., I got a text, and she's like, "Glory be, I had an awesome poop. It was the first time in ages." So she was so completely thrilled that her digestion had turned back on. And so this is really a thing. And it's also one of those things that we can't really do for ourselves. It's difficult. Even if you know what to do, having the support to get unstuck is almost essential. So if you know somebody that has been traumatized and they're stuck in this nervous, always on, they can't sleep, they're spiraling, and you know what I'm talking about. You've seen people like that. Have them call me or let them watch this so they can see that it can be shifted, and it can be shifted pretty powerfully, pretty quickly. Ayurvedic's wisdom, it's ancient, but it's always aligning. And as science proves or discovers more stuff, it's like, yeah, it confirms this ancient wisdom. We know that we need to be able to switch between parasympathetic and sympathetic dominance. And there's a really easy way to tell. As a clinician, I can check you in a few seconds to see if you're switching. And you want to be able to switch. If you're stuck, you want unstuck. That's one of the things that's not a DIY, a do-it-yourself process. So even if you can't see me in person, if you're dealing with something like that, we can do it like this over a web. And it's not optimal, but it's completely doable. So can trauma cause weight gain? Yes. And all of the things that you have been doing over the last while can start to shift yourself back into that parasympathetic dominance, that ability to relax and restore and digest your food. If it's not too stuck, it's probably moving a lot more smoothly. Taking the beet test, that's a very good indicator as to whether or not your digestion is moving along. If it takes more than a couple of days for that beet to show up on the other end, the likelihood of you being a little bit stuck in sympathetic dominance is pretty high. And so the breathing practice, calming, meditation, being in nature, just reminding yourself to relax, which is so difficult if you're stuck, is tricky. So just check in with yourself. One of the things you can do is set a timer and sit and watch your thoughts. Set a timer for just 10 minutes, and see if it's doable. If you can't sit there and be quiet for 10 minutes, that's a practice for you today. Stillness, quiet. Can you relax? Can you really relax? How is your sleep? Just check in with yourself. And if you are having difficulty, it's really easy just to hop on my website, kathammonds.com, and schedule an appointment. It should be super simple to get this thing unwound for you. I mention it because your process and your success won't be complete without it. So trauma no more. We all have trauma. We all experience loss. We all experience something that can really create a big brouhaha inside of our bodies. And we all need support from time to time. I'm going to, it's so stunning what has happened for the young lady that stayed with me for a couple of days. So I'm gonna copy, I'll probably have to edit it a little bit because I want to keep it anonymous, but to share so that if you know anybody that's suffering like strongly, there's a resource and you can see if it ties in with what she has shared. Share this out. If there's anybody you know that is struggling, share this. I hope that you're starting to see results. I hope you're recognizing that this process is addressing the root cause, that Ayurveda is about balance, and it's about creating a structure in your life that supports wellness throughout. And when you adopt these patterns and you begin to practice them and they become habit, then everything elevates, everything gets better. Mind, body, soul, and you just feel better and better and better over time. The psychological piece is huge. Don't struggle, don't suffer. Anyway, reach out if you have any questions, if there's anything, any comments, concerns, tweaks that you need, just let me know. All right, peace. Talk to you later.